All right, you can clear my throat. Here we are with Leo today. And why I am with Leo is because the other snakes during the daylight hours where I have lights on, they hide out and they're a little bit more difficult to get to. So Leo, my hypo boa, which is now about 4 years old, is just a very entertaining reptile, snake, boa. I am of the thought that he is a dwarf boa, that possibly he was bred with a dwarf species of boa. He's backing up now because I'm talking loudly, as you can see. But I think he is a smaller species because I'm feeding him as normal, and he's not growing much bigger than about 4.5 feet. He may get, 5.5 feet, years down the road, but he's not growing like a larger species of boas that grow, possibly up to 8 to 10 feet long. So that's fine with me. I want to have smaller boas, easier to keep, easier to feed. But I just wanted to visit today. This is their enclosure. It's in about a 9-foot tall closet space. And it's about 4.5 feet wide, maybe 4.5 feet wide, and about 4.5 to 5 feet back that direction. So there's lots of space, lots of climbing. And if you follow my channel, you will see that I post photos, not videos, but photos, and I say, a comment and write some things with the photo. But you'll see that when I come in the evening time, all my snakes come out and they climb from all the way down, from a foot on the floor all the way up. I have bars and some limbs and some cages in between and shelves, and they get a lot of exercise by climbing up and down. I come in and they're strung out all over the place, and so they're climbing, and it takes a lot of their physical activity and their muscles, to hang on to everything. So it's a very good exercise. But you can see him watching me. As I turned on the camera, he follows and watches me, and his little eyeballs, or the inside of, I don't know what that's called, the pupil, it follows me, it moves around. So, most people may think that snakes' eyes are stationary, and they just have like a 180-degree view, like a round camera lens, a bubbled camera lens, and they just can, see all around. But his little eyeballs move around and follow me and watch me. And I just think that shows, level of more of attention and slight intelligence. He's thinking, he's wondering, he's following me, he's looking at me and seeing what I'm doing. But I just want to say I have a little hook that I can use, when they're in precarious situations and they look like they don't want to be touched, but I need to do some maintenance, or I want to do some things with them, then I will use my little hook. But my emphasis has been where I believe my boas have more intelligence than just a dumb snake that sees movement and he relates that to food and he strikes at it. I believe that they know me. Obviously, they flick their tongue out. I've been doing this for 4 years, and they can relate that, smell, if, that smell with their keeper. And, obviously, I'm not a rat or a mouse. Now, I will say, if you bring a rat into the room and there's a faint smell of rat, then they go into kind of automatic mode where they know that's kind of alerts them to possible feeding time. And that way, I mean, when that happens, when you bring a rodent in and you introduce the smell, then it's possible that you're likely going to be bit because they have rodent on the mind. But I don't have any rodents out, and I don't have rodent on me, so I don't smell like a rat. So obviously he's going to use his little brain, the little brain that he has, and he's going to realize that I'm not something to strike at. So I have people comment, say, you need to know your snakes, you're an idiot, you don't know your snakes, you shouldn't have snakes, or you shouldn't have reptiles, you don't know what you're doing. Well, totally opposite. That's, your opinion. That's not accurate at all. I study and do a lot of research, and I spend a lot of time with my reptiles, and I just do things differently. It's just the way it is than a lot of people. So, you know, your way is not my way, and my way is not your way. But I haven't done anything really extensively, or I haven't done anything with a little hook that I have. So I'm going to come in, and there's a couple of very reputable reptile people that come in and let the snake smell their hand, and you know, just let him notice that it's me and decide what he wants to do. And but you know, doing this method with my hand, they can just be in a crappy mood. Just think of a human, a dog, other animals that are having, you know, a bad day from whatever it is. I mean, you go into work and you go into the boss's you know, office, and you ask a question and he snaps at you, you know, or you go in and he's like, hey, how you doing? Oh man, we're gonna have a great day, get a lot of sales today. It's just everybody's mood is different. And so I've made a video before where I just show my videos. You know, whatever happens, and I just post videos. Even though I know there's going to be people on there that are going to jump to conclusions and, you know, make snap judgments, and, you know, you don't know this and you don't know that, and you need to read up on snakes, you don't know nothing. You know, that's just YouTube. So, but I'm going to come in and I'm going to let him smell my hand. You got to look for the tongue flicks. Usually you don't come in with an open hand. I mean, just something that they can, you know, get a finger or something. You know, you come in with a fist and it's a bigger object. And so if, you know, he's in a bad mood or he's being territorial, snakes are territorial, you come in and you bother them and you're in their space, they're going to let you know. And there's a difference between territorial strikes and a strike that he's hungry. And when he's hungry and he thinks, you know, he's getting fed, he's going to latch on, he's not going to let go. If a snake bites you quickly, a venomous snake with big fangs will envenomate their prey, strike them real quick, let go, and then let the prey, you know, get immobilized by the venom, and then the snake will come up and try to find and then come up to the prey item and then eat it. But he's not venomous, and he knows that he's not venomous, and so when he bites me, territorial, or it's a hunger. And so there's different kinds of moods and different kinds of strikes. So the last time it was just really, I believe it was a territorial, hey, get out of here, I'm not really liking you in my space right now. It's a snake, they're gonna do that. They're unpredictable. If you have snakes and you have them long enough, you're gonna be bit. It's like riding a motorcycle. If you have a motorcycle, you're gonna fall down at one time or another. But so yeah. So we're going to come in and just experiment again. I'm going to let him smell my hand. He might be in a pissy mood. He might be like, I don't want to be bothered. I don't like being bit, but, you know, it's just, you know, getting to know your snakes and loving them and enjoying them. So he's flicking his tongue at me. I've been really close with my head right around this area right here in front of him. And he obviously, you know, he's never bitten me in my head or my face, but you know, I'll just come in and he comes up like this. You know, usually you don't want to directly come up, you know, because birds and things come down at snakes, and it could, you know, he could fear that. But I come in usually, and then he will come up at my hand and be like 5, 6, 7 inches off the platform that he's on. So just very interesting. And then I also come up to under his head and just touch him like that under his head. Now he's going to back up. But yeah, I just think it's cool. I think it's an experience to show. My other snakes are very nice natured too, and they don't necessarily, I mean, they don't, some of the snakes have never bitten me, and I've had some of my smaller ones like 3 years now, 2.5 years. But yeah, let me just move the camera because he's kind of moving back. I mean, when I'm not dumb, so when I, you know, kind of go towards him, I don't want to, it's a snake. It could happen. I just kind of move my head back and I move around, and he's never struck at my face, and so that's a good thing. But he's very cool. He's the only one that'll come sit out under the UVB bulb, a 5.0 and a 5.0 bulb, so it's not high output, but he is the only one that seems to come out and enjoys a little bit of UVB. This bulb is about 2.5 years old, so as time goes, UVB bulbs put out less of the UVB, so it's probably a real low number here, about a foot down from him. But let me just come around. I can see his little eyeballs moving. People are like, yeah, it's so dumb. You shouldn't put your hand like that. You're going to get bit. I do it all the time. I do it every day. And, you know, and I, 99% of the time, I have great success with it. Yeah, you know, every now and then you're going to catch them in a bad mood. That's my hand, Leo. You also got to be careful, because if you cook, I mean, you could be cooking some chicken or you can be cooking steak, and you can, and I just ate fish. I just ate some cod, so I may have the remnants of cod on my hands and my face, and so I just chowed down on some cod fillets. Very good. From Butcher Box. But see, he's being nice. He's just in here all day relaxing, just like the other time. Come in and catch him in a bad mood, but hopefully today he's not in a bad mood. So he's hopefully smelled me and knows, you know, hey, this is my owner, my crazy owner coming in to bother me. Or, yay, my owner's coming in, let's have fun. So... But it's very cool, because when I'm working in here, there's about 7 foot below this shelf. And when I'm working around with the other animals, he will come off the shelf and hang down about, you know, a foot and a half, and come down and flick my head and flick my forehead, and I'm not expecting it. And I look up and he's right there at my eyeballs. I'm like, oh, it just scares me, because I wasn't expecting it. You know, a snake to be, you know, when you turn around and you look right at a snake, you know, right at your eyes, it's just kind of jolting. But yeah, he's retracting back because of my voice, talking loud, so my mic will pick it up and you can hear me. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video. Someone may find it helpful. That's just how I do things. I try to give the snakes more credit than what a lot of people think that snakes have the intelligence to do. Like I said, I feel Leo and Manny know me as the person that brings them food and you know, cleans their cage, cleans this area out, takes care of them and holds them, and you know, speaks to them a lot. And when I have my reptiles out, I speak to them. They hopefully, you know, can recognize the tone of my voice. A lot of things, I think that they can identify a lot of different things to, I mean, I just think they're intelligent animals. They can be intelligent animals. I think boas and larger pythons can have a little bit more intelligence, rather than a garter snake or a small corn snake or a small rat snake that's just more interested in 3 things about staying safe or eating, or if it's getting cold or too hot. I mean, you know, that's the only things they can think about. I think the boa species and the pythons and, you know, larger snakes have, you know, a lot more processing power. But that's it. Video is 14 minutes, 52 seconds long. So thanks for tuning in. Hopefully this was interesting and informative, and you got something out of it. Okay, if you did, like it, and I'll make more videos. All right, bye-bye.